The story for Looper takes place in, wait for it, the future. That's right, Future Fingers, they're back. And in the future, about 20, 30 years from now, the Mafia will still be a thing. They'll still be running around doing their Mafia things, shooting people, whatever. And not only will they be having regular assassins, killing people, but they also have these people called loopers who not only will kill people, but they'll kill people from the future, because in 30 years we won't have time travel, but in about 60 we will have time travel, and in 60 years time travel will be illegal and only being able to be used by the highest paying of crime families. And of course there's a lot of high-paying crime families that will use time travel so they can kill people and not have it traced back to them, because in the future, I guess forensics is really, really good, and they have to go and send people into the past just to kill them and get rid of them. And they send them in the past, and these loopers take care of them. Boom! Right in the friggin' face. Done. Game over. And the movie takes, I mean, the movie is, you know, it actually follows one specific looper named Joe, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Now, a big stretch there for names, Joe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And the story follows him just, you know, in the beginning having a good time, having sex with hookers. That's a good time. Partying with friends, just hanging out, having a good life. And one day he has an assassination target that he has to kill, and it's a little late. You know, he's like, oh, that's weird, it's a little late. He's checking his little watch and going, oh, it's a little late. And then he pops up with no bag over his head, because he usually has a bag over his head, and he realizes, wait a minute, he looks into his eyes and goes, you're Batman. Oh wait, no, that's Dark Knight Rises. In this movie, he looks into this person's eyes and goes, you're me from the future. And Bruce Willis plays him from the future, and he looks into his eyes and goes, you know what? I'm going to whoop his ass. And he's like, wait, what? And then he whoops Joseph Gordon-Levitt's ass, and he gets out of there. And, of course, the one rule about being a looper is don't let your target escape. And that happens, so, of course, that means the Mafia is after Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's after his older self, played by Bruce Willis, and that's really the story. I have not had a good time travel movie in a very, very long time, and I am happy to say, story-wise, this is brilliant. It really is. It's a very just well thought out, very well written time travel movie that doesn't really focus on the time travel portion. There's plenty of times where people are like about to talk about time travel and give you little bits of detail that are very smart and very well thought out, but they never go like, oh, I'm going to overly explain it, because we don't need an over explanation of time travel. Just get to the parts where badass stuff happens and stuff. We don't need an over explanation of this stuff. We really don't. We just need a little bit of it so we can believe in it, and then just show us some badass stuff. And that's what they do here. They give us some awesome dialogue. They give us some really cool action. They give us a really cool explanation of time travel, and some great characters, and of course, some amazing acting. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis play the same characters, but not the same exact ones. One has a different personality because he's older, a little bit more compassionate, more self-aware, has seen the world for what it is, and you know, he's a little bit more mellow, and of course that's Bruce Willis. The younger one, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is kind of a dick at times. He's naive, of course. I mean, he can hold his own in a gunfight, in a fist fight, or whatever, but he's not, you know, Bruce Willis experience, you know, and they both do great in the film when they're separated. And there's a whole 10-minute scene when they're both together and they're actually having a conversation about stuff, and it's really thrilling. It really is, because they're just like cracking jokes and stuff. They're just saying things that are funny and just fun to listen to and very interesting about time travel and stuff. And it's a whole 10-minute scene that is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite scenes of this year from movies, and it really is. It's a great scene. We also have Emily Blunt in the film, who plays a farm girl that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character meets up with later on in the film, and she's really good in the film. I really liked her. I always thought Emily Blunt is hot and a great actress, and those two go perfect together, and yeah, she's great in the film. I really liked her. The rest of the supporting cast, you got Piper Perabo, who is only in there for about 3 minutes, and she gets naked. That's fine with me, but she kind of felt wasted in the film. You also have Jeff Daniels, who plays the leader of the Mafia group. He came from the future into the past just so he can lead this group, and he's actually great in the film. He's not like the obvious, you know, villainous gangster guy. No, he's cool back, you know, he's just laid back, you know, he's just like hanging out, chilling, you know. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna have to break your fingers. Hope that's cool. Fucking bitch. And that's his role, and he does a great job as Jeff Daniels, the gangster guy. The acting here is fantastic. The story is captivating as all hell. You got great writing, very funny, very interesting at times. What else could be great about this film? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. The action and the special effects. Effects aren't used like Avengers or Dark Knight Rises where they use it for the action. They use it sometimes for the action, but it's mostly like scenery shots, like, you know, the environment, the city itself, and for the most part it actually works out very well for the special effects. I think they're not used too much. They look good because they're all in the background, and yeah, I thought the special effects here were just mostly for scenery, and it worked out very well for the movie. In the movie is mainly there just to add to the intensity of the film, because the movie is very unpredictable at times and anything could happen. So if the action starts happening, you're like, oh my god, anything could happen, and really anything in this movie could happen. And when the action gets there, it's well choreographed at times. The chase sequences are good, the fight, like the shootouts are good, but for the most part, it's there just to add intensity, and it really works for the film's favor. It really adds a lot of flavor to the film, and I really enjoyed the action because of that. Overall, I think Looper is a movie that gets so many things right. I would even say almost everything right. It is such a great sci-fi time travel movie, and it's so refreshing to see a sci-fi movie that is extremely smart and so entertaining as well, with some great characters, great acting, such a well-written script, and have some humor to it. So overall, I think this movie, Looper, is a 40 out of 40. I do have a couple of quibbles with it, but I still think it's a 40 out of 40. Don't care. Anyway, there you go. There's my review. Rian Johnson, you did an amazing job. I can't wait to see what you have next. There you go. Thank you, and goodbye.